It's a pleasure to have the opportunity to reflect on all these things and to make this video for you. Well, regarding the question, what is essential in a training for trainers? I would say that four elements are essential, in my opinion, when it comes to a training for trainers. First element is the people. The second would be learning. The third is practice, and the fourth is mentoring. Regarding people, I think this is the first element we need in a training for trainers: a good group of participants, of trainers, of colleagues. It is important that this group of participants need the motivation for self-improvement, to go beyond also of what they know, to get out from their comfort zone. I think it's important to have this kind of group. And regarding that, I would say that we need really people who are into personal and professional development, people who are interested in human development. And I see the potential of such a group, and I think it's very important that in this kind of course we have a group like this. Sorry if I look at the paper because I have some notes. One thing that I think it's important is inside this group of people there is always a very good team, or it should be a very good team. What is a good team, in my opinion? A good team is that team that on one hand can serve as a role model to participants in certain cases, but wisely enough to offer the group different alternatives, let's say, different expertise, different styles. So it's not just, look at us, you have to be like this. It's not at all like that. But in a way, they need to promote this coherence and this responsibility as a mirror for them. A good team should mirror the participants' processes during the course, should, let's say, allow them to become more aware of how their developments and their progress are going on in the course. So that's something that I think a team should do. A team should be generous, a team should be flexible, a team should be extremely competent in the learning areas of the course. And I would say even more competent when it comes to personal interaction, when it comes to interpersonal communication, to manage conflicts, to manage their own emotions in the team, and of course to be aware of emotions and the group dynamics, the implicit, the explicit going on in the group. I think the team should very much take care of the human dimension in the group. I think the team should care, should accompany participants and their ups and downs across the course. The second most important element, I think, in the training for trainers is the learning, of course. Participants need to go through a meaningful learning experience. What do I mean with meaningful? Meaningful means for me an experience that touches mind, that touches heart, emotions, that touches attitudes. I think that every learning, piece of learning going through these elements will be yes or yes meaningful for any person. So I think we need to go through this via for getting the imprinting in participants, for them to get the imprinting of the experience from all those perspectives as a real holistic concept for non-formal education. I believe every learning needs to go through these elements. On another level of this reflection, we'll say that the learning is also important for them to multiply, meaning that participants need to get out from the course with a certain attitude, an attitude to be present in front of their group in the future, in the group they will work with. So presence means that participants have awareness about what is their role as trainers and their functions. They are, of course, aware of what is the socio-political context that the course is navigating. The course they are doing is navigating, is going through. They need to live the course. The participants need to live the training for trainers, not just with more knowledge, not just with these training essentials, of course, that are needed, let's say, but not only with these skills, but also with the capacity to materialize all those pieces of knowledge, all that skills and all those attitudes. They need to materialize, and it's important they leave the course with that conviction. I think that this is really one of the main points for me when it comes to learning, because participants will get also here the inspiration how to go beyond their comfort zone, as I said before, to experience the new, and also to serve as a model for others to go in the same direction, or at least to be aware of what direction they want to follow. So I think they have an important role in that. A training for trainers has to be practical. I think practice comes as a core feature of every training for trainers. I think a training for trainers should provide practical experience so participants can go through them and see themselves on what's happening in that concrete experience. So it's a little bit following the co-learning cycle, where participants go into something which is practical and they can later reflect and make observations about that, about their learning and so on. But I need that it has to be really practical. Practice also not only as a mean for development, but also as a consolidation feature. So like in every training, sometimes, very often, no? Practice comes in a way that helps participants to consolidate what they previously learned. So I think it's essential, and it has to be real and has to be tangible. Another element is mentoring. I think that every good and quality long-term training course needs this feature. Mentoring in the sense that we need the careful and professional accompaniment of the participants during their learning process. We need a competent team of trainers that can serve this purpose of mentoring. Mentoring for me means being able to stay with the participant, to be present with the participants, to help them to realize what is important for them in terms of learning, to help them to find what is needed in terms of resources, in terms of other people who can serve as a resource for them, to help them to interiorize and integrate the learning that they are taking. And I think that in a way, mentoring is a feature that can even go a little bit beyond sometimes. Sometimes even if you don't want as a mentor, you find yourself supporting someone who has some personal issues. Because of those issues, she cannot or he cannot focus on the real learning of the course. Well, I think sometimes it's also our task to support, and to be accessible, helping the participant also to keep the contact in those moments with, that sometimes between residential seminars there is a very long time where not so many things are happening. So to help the participants to stay tuned to the process, to stay connected, to feel the ownership, and also to help participants sometimes to see themselves in the group, to see themselves, how they see themselves in the course. And I think sometimes mentoring is a little bit like a glue that sticks all those parts and keeps them tight. And how I see myself in everything I mentioned, well, I really see myself there. I see myself accompanying participants in their learning process. I see myself helping them to reach their potentials. I see myself in supporting them in the down moments. I see myself creating and designing exciting activities, exciting modules with my colleagues in the team. I will look forward really to be part of something as important as ToT, as it was for me when I was a participant. And also very much taking that experience in which I was a participant and I was very aware of what were my needs as a participant in ToT. I think I cannot avoid to put all that feeling, all that thoughts on myself as part of a team in this process, which means that I see myself like really connecting with the group, connecting not only with the team, of course, but with a group of participants, and being able to monitor their processes, and to see themselves from the beginning until the end. I think that's the aim of every trainer, or at least that's the aim I want for myself, to enjoy the growing, the blooming of someone who just starts this path, and see the person evolving, and then see the final stage, the final moment when they come to evaluate the trainings and the experiences and see how much this person went far. I don't know. I really don't know how to tell you, like, how do I see myself. I think I just feel I can be part of that team, and I see I can do all these things with the participants and with my team. And maybe if I have the chance to be in the next phase of your selection procedure, we can talk more on a question by question basis on how do I see myself in certain roles. No? But just at the moment to say that I really see myself as part of these people that I mentioned, as part of this mentoring, as part of this learning and its promotion, its implementation, and as part of this practice, especially about practice. I think I'm very much into action and practice. So thank you very much for I hope I wasn't that long. So thank you very much from Spain.